Welcome to another edition of Reading with Rockfish. It's me, Sarah Rockfish, SL Rockfish. So happy to see you today. It's a beautiful summer day. I love summer. Don't you love summer? It's like kind of warm today. Gonna be in the 80s where I live. 80s is beautiful. Low humidity. Life is good. Okay. And because it's summer, we're gonna kind of keep it light and fun. And what's more light and fun than Dr. Seuss? Okay, I've used this book before. It's called Your Favorite Seuss, A Baker's Dozen by the one and only Dr. Seuss. I got this at a rummage sale or at a thrift store. I can't remember, but I paid like a buck or two for it. Amazing. I love finding books at Goodwill or at rummage sales. They're always like a couple bucks at the most. So, it's better than Amazon because I don't have to wait and I don't have to use a charge card. So, check it out. There are 13, because remember, a baker's dozen is 13. Though, you know, when I go to the deli or to the bakery and I say, hey, can I get a dozen donuts? They never put 13 in. They always put 12. So why is it a baker's dozen? That would be something to look into. Now, I thought today we would read this book, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. I chose this book for two reasons. This story. One, when I was a kid, I had a mulberry tree in my yard, a big one, and the birds would eat all the berries and get drunk and fly into the windows, and it was just crazy. Fun to watch, smelly, messy birds and berries everywhere. And then yesterday, I was at my friend's house, Matt and Shannon's, and they have a big mulberry tree. So I was like, it's a sign. I should be on Mulberry Street. And I live on the house and the street, in the house and on the street that I grew up in. So I thought, what better? A kid walking on the street, headed home from school, and Mulberry Street. Got it? That's how I chose it. Makes no sense, but to me, it makes total sense. Now, this book was originally published, this story was originally published in 1937. Oh my goodness. It's way older than me, if you can believe that. So, let's take a look at and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Now, you'll notice none of the letters are capitalized in the title. I don't know why. Maybe it was something special they did back then. Who knows? But I love Dr. Seuss. So I'm going to read a little and then hold it up, because some pages have more words than pictures. When I leave home to walk to school, Dad always says to me, Marco, keep your eyelids up and see what you can see. But when I tell him where I've been and what I think I've seen, he looks at me and sternly says, your eyesight's much too keen. Keen means like sharp. Stop telling such outlandish tales. Stop turning minnows into whales. You know, minnows, little fish. Now, what can I say when I get home today? Poor Marco. All the long way to school and all the way back, I've looked and I've kept careful track. But all that I've noticed, except my own feet, was a horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. Now, this is Dr. Seuss. Do you think that's all he remembers? That's nothing to tell of that won't do, of course. Just a broken down wagon that's drawn by a horse. Love the rhymes. That can't be my story. That's only a start. I'll say that a zebra was pulling that cart. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Yes, the zebra is fine, but I think it's a shame. Such a marvelous beast with a cart that's so tame. The story would really be better to hear if the driver I saw was a charioteer. A charioteer? See, Dr. Seuss makes up fun words. A gold and a blue chariot's something to meet, rumbling like thunder down Mulberry Street. No, it won't do at all. A zebra's too small. A reindeer is better. He's fast and he's fleet, and he'd look mighty smart on old Mulberry Street. He sure would. Hold on a minute. There's something wrong. A reindeer hates the way it feels to pull a thing that runs on wheels. He'd be much happier instead if he could pull a fancy sled. Okay. A reindeer and sleigh. Say, anyone could think of that. Well, sure, because Santa lets us know. Jack or Fred or Joe or Nat. Say, even Jane could think of that. But it isn't too late to take one little change. A sleigh and an elephant. There's something strange. I'll pick one with a plenty of power and size. A blue one with plenty of fun in his eyes. And then, just to give him a little more tone, have a Raja with rubies perched high on a throne. Say, that makes a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But now I don't know. It still doesn't seem right. An elephant pulling a thing that's so light would whip it around in the air like a kite. But he'd look simply grand with a great big brass band. I love brass bands. Okay, so his imagination is getting a little wild, isn't it? Check out all the artwork on there. Now we got some pictures. Okay. A hand that's so good should have someone to hear it. A band that's so good should have someone to hear it. But it's going so fast that it's hard to keep near it. I'll put on a trailer. I know they won't mind if a man sits and listens while hitched on behind. But now, is it fair? Is it fair what I've done? I'll bet those wagons weigh more than a ton. That's really too heavy a load for one beast. It's really too heavy a load for one beast. I'll give him some helpers. He needs 2 at least. But now, what worries me is this. Mulberry Street runs into bliss. Bliss is another word for happy. Unless there's something I can fix up, there'll be an awful traffic mix-up. It takes police to do the trick, to guide them through there where traffic's thick. It takes police to do the trick. They'll never crash now. They'll race at top speed with Sergeant Mulvaney himself in the lead. The mayor is there and he thinks it is grand, and he raises his hat as they dash by the stand. The mayor is there and the aldermen too, all waving big banners of red, white, and blue. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Could you imagine walking home with all that action going on? Oh my goodness. With the roar of its motor, an airplane appears and dumps out confetti while everyone cheers. Yay! Look at all the cool artwork. Dr. Seuss, man, the imagination is amazing. And that makes a story that's really not bad. But it still could be better. Suppose that I add... What could he add? Boom! A Chinese man who eats with sticks. A big magician doing tricks. A 10-foot beard that needs a comb. No time for more. I'm almost home. Look at all he's going to see on his walk home. Oh, I want to live on Mulberry Street. Oh my goodness. I swung round the corner and dashed through the gate. I ran up the stairs and I felt simply great. For I had a story that no one could beat, and to think that I saw it all on Mulberry Street. But Dad said quite calmly, just draw up your stool and tell me the sights on the way home from school. There was so much to tell, I just couldn't begin. Dad looked at me sharply and pulled at his chin. You know how dads do that. They can be serious. He frowned at me sternly from there in his seat. Was there nothing to look at? No people to greet? Did nothing excite you or make your heart beat? Nothing, I said, growing red as a beet, but a plain horse and wagon on Mulberry Street. What? Yes! He had this great imagination and then he just doesn't tell Dad. Sometimes dads are just too serious. And moms. Maybe Marco just wanted to keep it in his head, because sometimes your imagination, you got really cool stuff, and adults look at you like you're crazy. That's okay. Adults do it as we get older too. People come up with great ideas, and then other people go, well, I don't think that'll be great. Or they say, I'm going to do this, and they're like, well, what about the taxes? So, the wonderment of Marco walking down Mulberry Street. It's fun. It's got great pictures. And if you want to read it, check it out at the library or go to a bookstore, or better yet, go to Goodwill or rummage sales. There are always Dr. Seuss books flying around. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're having a great summer day. Thank you so much for joining me. And as always, I hope you read more, enjoy life, be kind to one another, and see you later. Thank you for joining me here on Reading with Rockfish. Either way, I don't know. Thank you so much. Bye. Peace.